Coming up next on the Union Label will be a conversation with Brandon Duncan, president of the Western Kentucky Labor Day Committee Incorporated, the folks that bring you Paducah's great Labor Day festivities. Welcome back. I'm Barry Craig, and welcome back, Brandon Duncan.
Well, thank you very much.
It's that time of the year. It is almost time for the Labor Day Parade. We're hoping it'll be maybe a little bit warmer this year, although I don't think 90 would be all that great. What is the theme of this parade this year, the program?
Well, Barry, the theme of the parade for this year is honoring women in the workplace. The theme was chosen earlier this spring. We all got together and was thinking about the overall concept of what labor has done, but also too about the women that work in the environments and just all around Western Kentucky. So we developed the theme, and it's just about honoring women overall and what they bring to the workplace.
Most parades have a grand marshal.
Yep.
This parade will have how many?
16.
16 grand marshals, all women.
All women.
All from local unions.
That's correct.
And if I may put in a plug for one of them, Carla Draffin from our local AFT Local 1360. She has been our webmaster for many, many years, puts it online. She'll be there along with some others. Shall I read the names of the others?
Sure.
Since I have them here.
That would be an honor, Barry.
We have Robin Hobgood from Painters Local 500. That was my grandfather's union back in the 30s. Teamsters Local 236, Patty Grimm. Iron Workers Local 782, Kathy Jones Pearson. That's Bill Hack's local. We all love Bill to death. 91 years old, war hero. I am District 154, Charlotte Devine. Operating Engineers Local 181, Patsy Reeves. Teamsters Local 236, Deborah Poe. AIM Unite 22, Martha Wiggins, who's the mother of Jeff Wiggins, who was your predecessor and who's the president of our council. IBEW Local 816, Sue Griggs. Amy Peacock, Carpenters Local 357, Carpenters 357, also Debbie Hosick. Donna Steele, representing the United Steelworkers, your union. Yvette Russell, Plumbers and Steamfitters, Local 184, our good friend Larry Sanderson. Laborers Local 1214, Selena Wilson. AFT, Carla Draffin. And last but not least, I am District 154, Becky Wilson. Now, will they get to ride in some really cool car, or how will they going to do that?
Yeah, this year we've talked with the Corvette Club here in Paducah, Kentucky, and they've agreed to help us out. And so they're going to bring their Corvettes down, and then we're going to parade each one of these women down through the center of Broadway. And I'm happy for them. I mean, this is a well-deserved honor for each one of these women, and also too to put them in something like that, and to have these people come with their Corvettes and also give them the honor that they deserve. It's really good. Each one of these women, I don't know how to say it, I guess properly, but each one of them have their own story and how they've come through the unions and how they're developing through the unions. And any woman out there knows it's difficult enough to work in the workplace, plus try to balance a lifestyle with your family, with your kids, and still manage to work. So, and I don't think that that's something that we give the women in this area enough credit for.
Would also like to add those Corvettes are made by UAW Labor in Bowling Green. They're Kentucky automobiles. Now we have some photographs of things that have been in past parades, and we have one here of a 1949 Ford. You told me that was before your time.
It was.
But it is a classic custom car. It goes back to my youth. Got the pinstripes. It looks like candy apple red, the color. Really a sharp car. A lot of work went into that. So custom cars are always part of the parade?
Yep, always part of the parade, and it's always good to see because they bring back a lot of memories. To
some of us.
To some of us.
Not you youngsters.
And even me too.
Right.
So
you can see what the old people used to drive, right. Exactly. Quality, yeah, that's right. Great. That's a terrific car. A lot of kids, always. And she has got candy. I believe that she's probably distributing candy. I guess.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
The more candy, the merrier.
It is, and I must say that, oh yeah, I was going to say about the candy. My son, the first time he was at a Labor Day parade, he was about 4 years old, and of course he loved the candy, stuffed both his pockets full, and then I had a baseball cap on. He said, "Dad, I need your cap," and he filled it with candy, and I have a photograph of him there. These things are always a big hit. They have this incredibly tight turning radius,
Yep.
but it looks like they're going to run over you.
Yeah, they make me kind of nervous. I mean, that's just part of it. But these guys do a great job. You know, very professional. I've seen them turn in some tighter radiuses, so
Yeah.
that makes me. I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
nervous about them, but that's all right.
Gatewood Galbraith won't be in the parade this year.
No.
Gatewood was always colorful. Well, he knew he wasn't going to win. He'd kind of say whatever he wanted to say, and that's a luxury that most politicians don't enjoy. But he will be missed. He was a very colorful character. Always gave a good speech. You may disagree with him, but he always gave a good speech. Very popular. And that is, who is that? The lady. Do we know who she is? She was some kind of a beauty queen. Do you know who that would be?
No, I don't.
Well, okay. We're being honest.
The parade brings out a little bit of everybody.
It does.
And,
it does. The variety there. So that's the Tillman ROTC. Always popular. Been there for forever. A naval ROTC, I should say. High school, junior ROTC. And the Paducah Tillman Tornado Marching Band.
Yep.
And that's Governor Beshear. And I'll tell you a story about this. As they came down down Broadway, Larry Sanderson, our good friend with Plumbers and Steam Fitters 184, was driving that car. And you can see Larry there. And as he got, I had a telephoto lens on my camera, and all of a sudden the car swerved toward me, and I thought, and I'll never forget Governor Beshear's face, like, what's he doing? And it was Larry clowning around, which he's always cutting up. But beautiful yellow Corvette made in Bowling Green by UAW labor there. The Parade of Tractors.
It's always a popular hit. The tractors and the tractor club, they always come. We line them up in the Farm Bureau parking lot. And,
Appropriately enough.
Appropriately enough, that's right. And it's always good to see them. This is the Shriners train.
Yeah.
They'll be again down there.
It's got a really loud horn on it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, and they'll have a car that they hook to the back of this, and they pull the people around, and they'll actually take people back to their cars around 14th Street.
Well, that's sporting. Yeah.
I think that thing actually can go up to like 60, 70 miles an hour. So, of course, they won't be doing that in Paducah.
Well, yeah. Obviously, a University of Kentucky fan handing out candy. Can't read that on his shirt. Tillman Band again.
Yep. This year, as far as with the bands,
Yes.
we have something that's very unique.
The debut of the
Mustang Marching Band. It's going to be their first march that they've actually done. They've been to the Lone Oak game. I think they have one coming up. The Lone Oak Tillman game was a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And then they have one coming up this weekend.
Right.
And then next weekend, and then the Labor Day parade.
And then the parade. And this is their debut in the parade, the McCracken
right.
County Marching Mustangs. Yeah.
That's right. We plan to give each one of the kids a medallion to honor the event, and also to give them a very nice trophy to help them mark this.
Do you have any youngsters in this band?
Nope.
But you did in the Heath Band.
I did in the Heath Band.
Yeah.
Well, my son, he'll be performing downtown that morning. So he won't be in the march of this, but he will be with them the rest of the time.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Ironworkers 782, again, a very typical float. That's Bill Hack's local. Been around Paducah for many, many years. The Veterans of Foreign Wars Post. A lot of veterans groups, or the American Legion and VFW. And so it's everybody, just about everybody. It's a real cross-section of the community. We
encourage the veterans to show up. We try to put them there at the front of the parade because we think that that's where they deservedly need to be. Because if it wasn't for these men and women, then I don't think the rest of us would be following behind them.
Right. And there's the American Legion Post. Let's just talk for a moment, if we can, about What goes into this? Obviously, you all don't get together about the middle of August and say, let's have a parade. It's a little more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a bit more than that. We start out actually, after this parade, we'll start out and we'll start the next one. Start a little bit of discussion about it, but really it starts heating up around February and March. That's when we get our letters out for sponsorship and things like that. So, I mean, it's just an ongoing working with agencies in Paducah, with the ones in McCracken County, whether it's security, fire, police, you name it, you got to deal with a little bit of everybody. So, and it takes quite a bit of money to put this on. I was surprised when I first got into it. So, last year it was about $15,000, and this year's going to run about the same.
And of course, it's private donations. The city doesn't pay for this, or the county, right? It's as a volunteer donation.
It's all volunteer. The committee doesn't get paid anything, so it's all volunteer with that. So whenever people see us out and around and soliciting money or trying to raise money, it all goes back in for the parade for next year.
Now the parade starts at what time?
Starts at 9:30 on 14th Street, right in front of the Paducah Police Department.
And we'll be heading
downtown
toward the river.
Yep, and it takes a turn to the left at 2nd, and I believe that's 2nd Street right off. It goes in front of Whaler's Catch.
And that'll be the end at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, you'll also have awards for the best entries of various types?
We do. We'll be giving away 12 different awards this year. One of our awards, it's the Best Spirit Award, is named after Frances Willie, which she departed this past year.
She will be missed. She was a real mover and shaker, wasn't she?
She was.
In it, and was active in this well into her 80s. She will really be missed.
And I think that award is appropriately named.
Oh, I
because
agree. I agree.
Anybody that dealt with her, I mean, knows that even, I hope I have that much energy when I'm her age.
Me too.
So.
Me too. Me too. Now, when the parade concludes, the program does not conclude. What comes next?
Well, starting that morning, we're going to have bands starting downtown. We'll have inflatables set up, and somewhere around noon, we'll start with our first raffles and giving away. We're giving away a shotgun to start out, $500, and then an iPad. Those progress as we go through the day. There's also will be, Carla Draffin's going to give a speech about women and what they've meant to the workplace.
I think that, I'm sorry, that's quite
Carla.
all right. No, it's going to be Jane Monroe.
Jane Monroe.
Yeah, Carla will be in the parade, but Jane, yeah, okay. But that'd be a good speech. And, well, okay, let's talk about those prizes. I mean, people donate those prizes, like the shotgun, the iPad, and all that. How does that work?
Well, I would like for them to be donated, but that's money that we raise, and then we go out and purchase them.
Okay.
And then give those away.
Okay.
We also got a whole lot of other gifts too that's been given to us by local businesses. A whole lot of things just to give away for free. So, and those I think will be clicked off about every 15 minutes.
Wow.
So,
that's a new program, doing that.
Yeah, we started that last year,
Yeah.
and I think it was a real big success.
Yeah.
And the radio agency's coming out there, AJ from 96.9 is supposed to be out there, and you'll hear him up there, and he'll get up there and give away a prize, and then we'll start back up.
Barbecue available as always.
Yep. We still need some more vendors, but there'll be barbecue down there, hamburgers, hot dogs, drinks, shakes, cotton candy, the things that you normally see.
Right. This is an election year, and oftentimes the politics are as spicy as the barbecue. Who have you got lined up to speak thus far, if you can kind of just tell us who'll be on the docket?
Well, we have a mayor's race here in Paducah. Both Kaler and Coleman, they're going to be down there to speak. The city council, we have a real hot city council race here in McCracken County. They've all agreed to come up and speak. They're going to be setting up tents and different things to give out buttons, flyers, yard signs. So you'll see them down there. Gerald Watkins has agreed to speak along with his opponent, Crockett. He'll be down there. And as far as anybody else, that's who we got on the lineup so far.
Then at 2 o'clock, something we hope will be very special, a debate on a very hot topic, certainly as hot as the barbecue, city-county merger.
Yep. And I hope a lot of people turn out, because whenever I first was introduced into this and heard about it, I didn't know a whole lot about it. And I still, still have some questions, but that's what this debate is for. It's for them to come down there and both sides to present how come they believe that we need it, and the other side to present things may be good just the way they are. So it'll be a hot topic on the ballot this coming fall. I know the radio shows or the radio commercials are already coming about for the pro side. I haven't heard any for the non-merger yet, but I'm sure that they're coming.
I'm sure they will be coming on that.
So, but I really look forward to that, and that's going to be at 2 o'clock.
Okay, that debate will last about a half hour.
A half hour.
And then after that, what can we expect?
Well, we got the bands. They'll be performing back, and that'll last till 5 o'clock.
Which bands are they?
We start out in the morning with Gypsy Caravan. That's the one that my son plays for.
And they play what kind of music, basically? Country?
No, I don't
Rock?
think we have a whole lot of country. Kind of a rock setting.
Okay.
And then Sirens and Strings. That's a new band for this year. Of course, they're all new this year that's performing for us. And each one of the bands, Sirens and Strings and Heath and Molly, they both have female lead singers. So I've asked them to kind of curtail their, what they do as far as bringing out songs that women's performed. So,
okay.
So, and I think Shannon's the lady with the Sirens and Strings, and I think she's going to do some special presentations as far as dressing up like Rosie the Riveter.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We talked
now,
the other
this
day.
will all take place at the riverfront, same place as last year, or is it a little different? Same place as last year?
Same place as last year.
Down by the flood wall?
Down by the flood wall.
Yeah. It would also be nice if people, when you're downtown, to perhaps go by and see the labor mural on the flood wall, which is going to be, I guess it would be to the east of where you'll be. And that's always interesting, because you can see faces of people that we knew.
And what's nice about that is I just got a call the other day from Roe Morse, and she was telling me that the artist Herb had just finished redoing the mural. So, and that's one of his favorite murals, and she said you need to go down there and check it out, because it really stands out. And something that I didn't know is different people from our past, those faces are painted into that mural.
There are, indeed. W.C. Young is there. George Wiggins, Jeff's dad, is there. And absolutely, you can go down and see the faces. This artist, and he did, I know in talking to him, he really enjoyed doing that one. And what they did was they gave him photographs of people, and he painted them right in there, right over that Solidarity banner. Yes, it's absolutely, that's a wonderful attraction downtown Paducah, all those historic murals like that. So then the cleanup comes, and who gets to do that?
Well, it's all the volunteers that help put this on.
That's what you get the big bucks for, right? The cleanup. Yeah. And I don't think people are aware just how much effort this takes. So I'm going to give you a chance to plug some of your committee folk who do a really good job. There's your chance.
All right. Well, I start out with the financial secretary, Wayne Chambers. He always keeps our books in line. I mean, he does a really good job.
He's a retired steelworker.
Yep.
Okay.
David and Kathy Burnett, they're the ones that go around and get the prizes. Last year they did a whole lot of work. I mean, I can't say how much they did, but I mean, it was a whole bunch. And this year
he's from AFL-cio.
He's from AFL-cio. And then Bubba Dawes, he's our parade coordinator. He's the one that actually sets the lineup to the parade, and that's a whole nother aspect in itself. We've divided different things up so that each people's in charge of everything.
DVR of 154 machinists.
Yep.
So, well, now, is he the one that puts the politicians behind the horses? As tempting as that would be, I guess you can't do that. Yeah. So, who else?
Probably not. Oh well, we have a lot of other volunteers that come into play. Jim Key. And if I don't say people, they're gonna come back to me.
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but yeah.
And we got Ron Spann, Jeff Wiggins.
Also retired steelworker and steelworker, yeah.
And Carla, that's Wayne Chambers' wife.
Right.
Rick and Paula Stafford. I know I'm starting to forget a whole bunch of people on this.
Well, I think.
But total in all, between the city workers, the county workers, everybody that comes into play that helps us put this on, is probably 50 to 60 people, as it all gets down to it. I mean, there's a lot of work and a lot of people.
Well, do you feel a sense of relief once it's over?
I do. I mean, you hope you did a good job, and you know, a lot of people will tell you you did a good job, but I also like constructive feedback, because without the feedback, you don't know what to improve in, and I'm always looking to improve, because this is about working families and honoring them. And so you just hope that you can give back to the community as best that you can.
It's one of the largest Labor Day celebrations in the state. Are there other Labor Day parades that you know of?
Not that I know of. I know Louisville has a picnic.
It's a big picnic, but I don't think they do a parade. I think maybe Ashland does a parade, but I could be wrong about that. But and another thing too that I think is marvelous about it is, I believe the first Paducah parade was 1893, and the reason I say that is Larry Sanderson, who's retired from the plumbers and steam fitters, showed me a program he had, 1943, and it was the 50th anniversary program. And for some reason, these parades stopped after World War II, and then they were resurrected. This is the 37th, right?
That's correct.
And so I'll let you do the math backing up from them. I'm not very good in math. I'm a history teacher. But there were some people who got together and resurrected these parades back, Glenn Dowdy and others, and got it started. And it's quite a, and you know, for a while, it was actually Kentucky's official afl-cio Labor Day parade back when you were a pup. But it's always been quite a program, and people come from all over. Do you ever estimate crowds, how many actually, is there any way of knowing how many people watch this thing? Because it's such a long procession.
The best estimate that we got was anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 was along the parade route last year. So, and that's a pretty sizable amount.
It is.
We had to get that number to base our insurance and to base the different permits off of. So, you know, we tried to get a consensus of that last year. Right. But that's a large group of people.
It is. And I'm well, hopeful, but also pretty certain that you'll get a pretty good crowd for the political speaking. And I think this city-county merger thing will bring them out, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. Last year, I remember there was a woman dressed up as the Statue of Liberty. You remember seeing her? I hope she comes back, because that really was like, people did a real double take on that. That was fun too.
So this year we're going to have Rosie the Riveter.
Right.
She's the one that leads the parade. And
so who is that again?
That'll be Camille Duncan.
Camille Duncan.
Yep.
Okay.
So she works, I just forgot where she worked, but anyway.
Okay, that's all right.
But
she'll be dressed up in like overalls and
the bandana around the head,
just
and
like
she'll
the
be
poster.
going down there flexing her muscle.
That's great. That's great.
Things like that.
Okay, and then the grand marshals will come behind her.
Yep.
And is there a particular order? I know you don't put the politicians behind the horses. I'm just kidding about that. But is there a particular order that you go every year, or does that change?
Whenever I took over, the thought is since the labor people's the ones that put it on, that the labor float should be first, and then certainly after that, then it's kind of, they try to bunch them up and keep them together, and so it's kind of a toss-up after that. You know, a lot of the politicians like to be different places, and
yeah, they typically come. They're kind of scattered along the route, and some walk and some ride in vehicles. It's kind of up to them. Go ahead.
Veterans always come first,
right?
And then our services, police, fire department, we have to put them second. That way, if any calls are had, they can be out and be done. So.
About how many units of all types did you have last year?
That I don't.
Was it 100?
That's a lot.
It was one of the longest parades, wasn't it, last year?
This year is going to be one of the largest parades we had. 63 entries, and with those entries, there's multiple, things in there. Just like with the Shriners, it's one entry, but it's over a block long.
Right, and you got a bunch of those little cars in there.
Yep.
Right.
So each entry, they can be small or they can be really big.
Right. right. So that's kind of difficult to say then.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many?
But it will be a large parade.
Yeah. 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 Anything else you'd like to add? Well, obviously, too late for this year. Is it too late to do anything for this year? You said you need more vendors.
Need more vendors. Need more food vendors if we could possibly get them.
So why don't you give us a telephone number where they could call to if you're a potential food vendor?
All right. Well, my telephone number is 270-559-5959.
Easiest cell phone in the world to remember. Yep. Easy. And they could just call you and say, well, let's say I was a food vendor. I mean, what would I call you up? Then what would I have to do?
You just tell me who you are, what you sell, and we would go from there. You know, certainly if it's barbecue, we always welcome, you know, those type of vendors. So, yeah, just ought to come down and join us.
Very flexible.
Very flexible.
Yeah. Okay. And what about? Is it too late for parade entries?
Nope. No, you can always, you know, get in the parade if you want to. I say that, not talking to our parade coordinator, but it'll frustrate him a little bit. But he'll be all right with it.
He's a big guy too. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it's here to have fun. So you know, we try not to limit anybody. You know, our motto is we're just here to educate the public on, you know, whatever issues that you have. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the way we go with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's always just a huge event, and and of course politically, it's a big event for local politicians because it's Labor Day traditionally is the opening shot of the fall campaign, presidential, senatorial, congressional, all the way down. And is the governor coming this year, or do you know?
The governor won't be here, and neither will the Secretary of State for the Labor. Contacted them, they both got back with me, and they're both going to be out of the town or out of the country around that time.
Is the state afl-cio president, Bill Londrigan, will he be here?
Yep, he will be here. He will be starting off speaking, and he'll introduce, you know, different people that come up on stage.
So he's the MC?
Yep, for the political part of it.
For the political part, okay, that's good. And any other state officials, Lieutenant Governor, any of the others, or do you know?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
You know, when you're dealing with politicians, they'll call you right at the last minute.
I know they do. I know they do, and they have that. I guess they have that luxury to do that sort of thing. What is your favorite part of this? I guess after it's over.
My favorite part?
Yeah.
My favorite part, I guess, is meeting all the different individuals that you come in contact with.
Yeah.
Some of it's frustrating, but most everybody has a different personality, different dynamics, and that's the good part of it. You know, I think that I can associate with just about anybody, but all in all, it's good.
Yeah.
Because you see everybody.
Yeah. And hopefully we will see everybody at the parade on Labor Day here in Paducah. My guest today was Brandon Duncan, who is the man in charge of the Paducah Labor Day Parade. I'm Barry Craig. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.